Grand Rising Heartbeats. Hello, Omni family. I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday. I'm jumping in to check in with you all, say hello, make sure everyone's doing okay. Um, Also, I just want to say that now that we've spent time with the family at these lovely family dinners, um, you may want to take some time to reflect um, on just the beauty of spending time with family, regardless of if there were altercations, regardless if there was a little bit of gossip. At the end of the day, family is family. And you know, if we cannot love them close, we have to be okay with loving them from a distance. So, um, you know, rather uh, if you have to choose to love from a distance, you know, to keep your peace, to keep the peace, you should not feel guilty about it. Okay. Um, but um, what I find most times is if we take the time to sit in a quiet area, and even the lighting in a room when certain topics are discussed can change the mood. So, in a relaxed atmosphere, have a conversation with, you know, if the problem is a person, the conversation with the person one on one, take the hostility away from the conversation and speak what's on your mind, because most of the times it's just misunderstandings. Okay. So, you don't want to let too much time go by without speaking to your loved ones, you know what about something that could possibly be just a misunderstanding. And neither one of you may want to be mad at each other, but no one wants to reach out first. So, you don't want to live with regrets, right? You don't want to do that. So, yeah, make peace. Hear each other out. Everyone's feelings are valid. So just take the time to listen completely. And then, then it's your turn. You express your feelings, your thoughts, your perspective. And hopefully the other person can sit and listen to hear and not listen to react. I guess listening to respond is okay because, again, when you respond, you put some thought into your words. So, yeah. So, if the problem isn't a person and it's a thing, if it's a thing, what do you do when it's a thing, something uh, that's disturbing your peace that might have come up this holiday? Hmm? Maybe you were triggered by something you heard or seen or felt over the holidays. Something triggered something inside of you that could have possibly made you take something someone else said the wrong way just because it triggered you in a negative way, right? Because when that happens, then it's kind of it's your problem. It's not something they did or said. It's your problem. So you have to ask yourself, um, what can what do I need to work on within myself? So something I heard triggered me, and so now I have to ask myself, well, why did that trigger me? Mhm. And then follow up with, okay, this triggered me like this because A, B, C, D. Okay, so now you have to resolve A, B, C, D. You have to resolve those, and that is much easier said than done. But most times, that is done when you go through what they call it, dark night of the shadows, or you work with your shadow self. So you have to deal with the things you try to lock away, or um, the unpleasant things. You have to sit with the things, the uncomfortable feelings, and uh, my favorite word, accountability. My kids will tell you about that word, accountability. Take accountability. All right. So, yes. So, we did people, um, things, places, places. Maybe there's a place you went for the holidays that created some unpleasant feelings. It's another, why did this place create these feelings for me, and what am I gonna do to face this head on? What am I gonna sit with? Who am I gonna have to forgive? How do I stop blaming myself if you blame yourself for something happening at this place? You have to remember, sometimes we don't have control over our environments. Okay, so we have to forgive ourselves. And again, easier said than done, but it's part of the healing process. Okay, um, you may need help, like professional help, to get through some of these processes, depending on, you know, depending on how deep these traumas and dramas go. All right, so we talked about things and people and places. So maybe this holiday season, um, a thought came up. Sometimes holidays bring up memories and thoughts. So if you have some thoughts that maybe brought on some negative energy, vibes, feelings, our thoughts is one of the hardest things, I would say, for me, uh, because you sit with your thoughts all day. You sit, you start to get on your own nerves sometimes. So thoughts are very powerful. So you have to be careful what you think. You have to you have to be careful about what you introduce to your thoughts. Okay. So if there are certain thoughts that you have that you realize are not helping you towards what you want your end result to look like, okay, we have to change those thoughts, right? And our thoughts um, is the bridge. Our thoughts is the bridge to our actions to bring forth what we're wanting into the 3D. So we gotta, when we have a thought, you know, it, it creates um, an emotion. At least for me, I have an emotion usually attached to my thoughts. So that emotion will either make me react or respond. And because I'm trying to be mindful, because I'm trying to bring forth what I want into the 3D, okay, I'm being mindful. So when I feel an emotion, okay, that emotion that it is attached to our thoughts, right? Our thoughts equal our emotions. So now I want to be mindful and I want to respond. I don't want to react because react is usually an action that comes from our subconscious. So we ain't thinking about consequences. We just react. So I want to respond to my emotions. Okay. So that I may more easily and better produce what I want to see as my end result. And so, you know, we were talking about thoughts. So you have to go ahead and change up those negative thoughts. You know, those emotions make it hard to do that. But again, you know, I have my email address available for those that may need assistance working through these things, these assistance with changing thought processes or introducing new thought processes, right? So that you may become the magician because, you know, um, after having that emotion attached to that thought, and now um, you're jumping into action to create it into the 3D, right? So you want to make sure you're high vibing because you're creating. When you take action, you're creating. If you're high vibrating, you can create vibrating in a low frequency, but speaking for myself, when I create from a low frequency, that creation is stressful. So you want to high vibrate in your creations. Don't know how I got there, but keep up with these rabbit holes, okay? So, but yeah, so I'm gonna leave um, my email address in the at the bottom of the video, and we can talk about email me if you would like assistance or guidance or just to say hello. Okay, so I'll connect with you all later. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your family, and see you soon.